Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It's your girl, Rashonda LeGrand, aka the Intern Mother, aka Bryce's mama, aka Rashonda Ellison, the artist. And I'm just coming before y'all this morning because I wanted to just touch and reach out. It's a rainy day here in Georgia, and um, there's a lot going on the news, especially with the Trayvon Martin trial. I got on my black today or whatever in representation and support of justice for Trayvon and his family and for all the children, all the children that we've lost, all the children that we're losing. We lost some children last night. The news is just not reporting what was lost, and it's it's really a sad take, that we have to go through this in order to receive justice, for our children. And I asked God today, before I came before y'all, what did He want me to say? What was the thing that the universe needed from me in order to project out there to the audience of people that are watching and are tuning in, to these video postings or whatnot. And really what it is that, I believe that the universe is calling us to mobilize, and not mobilize based on violence or nothing like that. The universe is asking us to mobilize based upon our culture. Our culture cannot be just consumed with the idea of, we're consumers. We are the top rated, community of people, meaning Black, African American, Negro, what have you, colored. We are the biggest consumers. We consume everything, and we've been taught and trained in a way that, and not through our consumption, it causes us to fall into a demise, and it's a state of mind, and all these different things, we have these ideas and these thoughts about, our culture and what that represents, as far as fashion. You got several children over the past, year or so that have been, taken out because of the idea of our fashion codes. Kids rocking hoodies does not represent, any kind of mischief or any kind of ideas or whatever. But when I speak of consumerism, I'm not speaking of the fact that we buy, but we buy into an idea. We buy into the identity. We buy into the propaganda. We buy into all these different things. I hear so many people say, oh, if they do this and do that, we're going to act a fool. We're going to cut up. We're going to do this and the third. Why? You haven't strategically positioned yourself for a win. When you go out here, you blasting off on ignorance or whatnot and not really knowing how to fight the war that's waged against you, then you end up losing every time. And that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of us losing because we have all these resources and funds to put our money into things that are not liquidable. We're not really looking at the ideas of the mistakes that we're making in wanting to be a part of this nation, and we want to be able to have our say. We want to be able to be protected, and we won't even employ ourselves to govern ourselves with a part of discipline that states otherwise. If we keep on walking around with the same characteristics, the same ideas, the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same hatred. Even, one brother I was reading on a Facebook post the other day, and bless his heart, he said, well, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But another brother responded and he said, why are we gonna rally and protest against this thing going down like this, and we don't rally and protest against our own when we shaking up and we cutting up and we doing what we do on our own, black on black crime. So why are we gonna go and act a fool based upon the ideas of this case and however it falls out? Which I'm praying for justice, because I know that, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And the dead can't speak for themselves, so that's why we speak. We speak for those who have not been justified. And that's why we get up and we make these statements that we make in order to protect ourselves and protect our children and to give them something different to experience. But it's been so many years that we've been experiencing this same old injustice. And why? Because the hardest problem that I think that we face is the unification of the black man and black woman. And it's hard. It's hard. You say it ain't hard, baby? It ain't hard? He said, mm-mm. You know, the hard part that I see in it is just the idea of that we do not want to change the mechanism based upon really changing the dynamic of thought. We just want to change it in a tangible way. But tangibility is not always the way. It doesn't become tangible until we can literally see it and visualize it and see it come to fruition. And then we manifest it from our heart space, you know, and within the whole sacredness of what that means and what that represents, you know, our hearts. What's in your heart? What's your motive? Are you wanting to be free and you want to cut up and say, oh, you know, black power, this and the third, so that you can be the exact same thing that the people that are oppressive and the opposers are being? Do you want to take on their role? Or do you want to teach and show how kings and queens really get down with justice, with loyalty, with wisdom, with stature, with favor? You know what I mean? So what is it that you really want to do? You know, how is it that you really want to organize? How you want to bring your community together? What is it that you can offer? You know, can you offer more than a basketball scholarship? Can you offer more than something that has to do with the whole aspects of the game and this and the third, putting kids on and showing them what to do? What can you show them different? What can you show them different? Because the same characteristics are the same things that we've already seen. We already know this. We need to do something new. What is something new that you can do? What is something new you can introduce into the community to show them a different way? You know, and that's the key. We got to think of some new things. We got to think of some strategies, and we got to get these strategies moving and motivating right now. And we have to do that in accordance to how the world is working today. What was going on then is not going on right now. So we need to make sure that we put these things in a position to where we can go forward. We can go forward as soldiers, as warriors, as a tribe, as a people, because if we don't do that, then we lose. And we don't strategically put ourselves in a position spiritually, then we lose. If we don't show our children something better, then we lose. And that's discipline. And if we don't have the discipline to really focus in and know what it is that we want for justice, what does justice look like? What does it feel like? What does freedom feel like? What does justice feel like? What does it feel like? What does your heart say it is? It's not about what you think it is. It's what you feel. It's about what you feel. Feel the rhythm. You see my baby back there dancing? He's trying to feel the rhythm. He's trying to get in the rhythm of the flow. And that's what we got to do. We got to get in the rhythm of the flow. You know, hip-hop wasn't just talking about rap lyrics and bopping and bebop and spinning on your head and, you know, all that kind of stuff going on. That was real. It was a part of expression, but it was digging deeper. It was talking about cultural development. It was talking about building a nation of individuals, of people, for the humanity's sake of our planet. It was talking about some deeper aspects of our lifestyles. You know, I don't think that we've come this far for the sake of just being here and watching our children die. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of resources to get it done. Stop buying your kids $150 pairs of tennis shoes. You can invest that, because I know you're buying them more than one pair, especially if you got more than one child. You know, invest. I know an investor. You got $7 per share. It's a $500 million banking system. He said, just put a little bit in. All it takes is a little bit. So imagine if all of us 800 million people put in $7 in one stock. Yeah. I know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was talking about 5 cents a day. I think it was 5 cents a day into a fund for the sake of nation building. You know, we got a lot of work to do. You know, you spend $25 a day going to lunch with your homies. You spend that on getting your gel sets on your fingernails and your toenails. You know, some things you probably be able to do without, because guess what? When it all falls down and these mofos come hardcore and they want to start marshaling laws and stuff, you ain't gonna be able to pay no $300 for no damn weave. You probably need to shave your head so you can be able to move fluently. You know, invest in some emergency kits. You know, people that was caught up in Katrina or whatnot were not prepared. They weren't prepared. That's how that bouncing baby can't hit my Miss Collarbone. You know, they weren't prepared. Are you prepared? You know, do you have your emergency kits? Do you have all your stuff together? You got your bottled water? You got your perishable goods? Is your refrigerator empty? Are you carrying a $2,000 handbag and don't have $2,000 in your bank account? I heard you, Yeezus. Heard you, Yeezy. Get it, Kanye. Talk to him. You know, it's really serious. It's really not funny. Ain't no LOL over here. It's what is it, SMH? Shaking my head? Yeah, I'm learning all this stuff. It's new to me. You know, because I'm into mother. I'm tuning in. I'm getting up on this digital wavelength right now, and I'm able to come to y'all and express and talk and build, and that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do is just build. You know, it's a lot of things that we can be doing right now. It's a lot of things, you know, but one person can't do it all. You know, one person can't do it all. That's why we're trying to get 3,000. Want to learn a little bit more about what we do? GetEmpowered3000.com. www.getempowered3000.com. www.getempowered3000.webs.com. You know, we got some things that we want to talk about. We got some things that we want to build on. You know, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it for the sake of the children. We're going to do it for the sake of the mothers. We're going to do it for the sake of the fathers, for the sisters, for the brothers, for the youth. We're going to do it. We're doing it. We're in motion. And just because you can't see it right now, don't mean it's not there. You can't see the air, but you can breathe. Peace and love.